Hey, good evening. This is Dr. Eric Live. What I had to do was come off of my, get on my phone tonight because I'm not sure what's going on at the hotel. But I'm still hoteling it in Atlanta, Georgia, and met with more people today. And I have spread my credo all over the place. Don't forget, have you had your daily vitamin CBD today to help reduce inflammation and support your immune system? It says tons. It has it's a multi disease oriented recovery process. Okay, good evening, ladies. Okay, Susan, Kit, good evening. Kit, thank you for sending me those articles. And I thought the most interesting one was the first one, which Kit sent me a diagram of the endocannabinoid system in animals and mammals. One of our favorite, is of course the dog, and they had a number of they had the CB1 receptor sites and the CB2 receptor sites divided, and saying that most of the CB1 were in the brain and thought process, mechanisms, and the other side, was the bone stimulating components, increase immune system. So it had some nice delineations of the CB1 and CB2 receptors, and I was so pleased to see the word bone at the top that list, because not many people think about CBD and vitamin CBD when it comes to bone. But that was my introductory into the CBD world, is because I was reviewing the world's literature and found several articles, multiple articles, that would talk about the bone stimulating capability of cannabidiol at the CB2 receptor sites. Now, I had to go right ahead and start educating myself, because when the endocannabinoid system was discovered, back in 1992, I had already been in medical school for an extended period of time, and we won't tell you about how long that was, but in 1992, it was the endocannabinoid system was not being taught as well in medical schools or in medical professional schools, period. Veterinarian schools. Well, why not? Well, the federal government had basically criminalized the whole, cannabis sativa plant to a point where you couldn't study it. There are Supreme Court cases that were brought before the Supreme Court on people trying to study cannabis. The only person in the proclamation or the executive order signed by President Nixon was that the University of Mississippi would be the only location where cannabis could be grown in the United States or be studied in the United States from 1950. And it was just challenged, I think, for the first or second time, or in recent history was it being challenged, by other universities that wanted to be a participant. Okay, it was as simple as that. They wanted to know about a plant that was 8,000 years old, and they had heard about it. But you stimulated my conversation tonight, Kit, by virtue of sending that to me, and we can talk for a second about one of HCI's biggest sellers, and the vitamin CBD line is Pet Treat, and I stopped by one of the I think it's a pet boarding. It's a day boarding. It's a day boarding facility. Okay, think about that. You take your dog, to the babysitter, but I think someone already has that novel idea, and this business I pulled up to because I wanted to talk with them. And I find the young lady lives in the same neighborhood in Maine that I live in, number one. Where I was about 20 miles away, and find that she lives right down the road is just those 2 or 3 degrees of separation. No longer 6 degrees of separation, only 2 or 3. Anyway, so, she kind of reluctantly bought one because she went to her father-in-law who worked next door. And he says, look, you got nothing. What do you got to lose? Okay, if it helps, she has 2 dogs. If it helps them, it's a winner. If not, you're out X number of bucks. So she reluctantly gave it up, and um, I stopped back at the store probably a week later, and I said, hey neighbor, I said, I want to know what you think. I'm your neighbor, and I want, to know what you think and how it goes. She says, well, it's working fabulous on one of them. Okay, and I said, great. And I said, and the other one, she says, now you hear her in there now. I said, okay, proof in the pudding. And so then I said, double up. Because the animal itself could have been in cannabinoid deprivation for long times. I think I told most people on the call, if you didn't know, that the University of Kansas just got a $200,000 grant, okay, from the United States Department of Agriculture, and they got it in order to study the uptake of THCA and THC and CBDA and CBD. So I thought that was very interesting, and that was to study the uptake of those substances in the stomachs of cows. And they had some preliminary data that made nothing but sense. And the reason being is they said, we found higher levels of THCA and CBDA in the stomachs. Well, unless you put the cow's stomach on a roaster and decarboxylate it, that's what you're supposed to find. So that's what you ask for, you might get it. But I thought that the investment that Kansas is making into the hemp industry and testing the CBD of hemp and the THCA and of hemp, you can't say that the study has been done many times before that, okay? Because hemp has been outlawed for the last 70-some years as a federal crime. So nobody was going to. You had a less of a chance going to jail if you went to the bank. So in any event, those are two species of animals that they're ones they're studying right now, because you can grow hemp in Kansas, but you can't feed it to the cows. But if you go to the back of the $10 bill in 1910, there's a picture of people processing hemp fields. Yeah, and we thought, or at least the Department of Agriculture thought it important enough to memorialize it on the back of the $10 bill. And then, so in the 2020, we're studying the absorption of those substances that they used to eat as a standard situation. But that takes care of the animal situation tonight, and that's what we have for you tonight. And so you go and remember the credo. Have you had your daily vitamin CBD today to help reduce inflammation, to support your immune system? So that's what we're doing. And go to dailyvitamincbd.com, and you see our 12 SKUs. I think most of you know that the wild Maine blueberries are not on yet, but if you have to PM me or text me or email me, and I can get them to you, because the beginning of the fourth quarter, we're trying to put out another brochure. If not, we'll add that to the website. And a couple announcements. Number one, I think number 94 to 200 is on Your Daily Dose. Please go to the YouTube channel, Your Daily Dose Vitamin CBD, and we've added more of the nightly chats that we have here to the YouTube channel. The YouTube channel again is Your Daily Dose, okay, Vitamin CBD. And that's because that's what we want you to do. We want you to understand that you need this just like any other supplement. And if you go, another announcement, so to speak, is to write your congressman and ask them about House Bill 8179, because this is going to help the CBD industry of the grabs of the FDA. Okay, so go make it a supplement that we can add to things without generally regarded as safe, because it's been around for 8,000 years and has been validated being safe many times over. So those are, I think, two of the announcements. Another announcement is I'm going to be doing a talk, a 45-minute talk on Tuesday night on the 6th, and yes, on the 6th, and it's brought to us by the Woodsman Financial Group, and we want to thank them already, because they're going to bring a big crowd of people that will introduce them to vitamin CBD, will introduce them to our credo, and welcome them every night. This is number 205, I was told tonight, and so I am really pleased to be a testimony to people trying to be safe. People